Hello, in this video I'm going to be talking about the lastIndexOf method built into arrays in ES5 JavaScript and beyond. So the way lastIndexOf works is very similar to indexOf, except it will tell you the last position in the array in which a particular value can be found. So I have some arrays here with some strings and also some response times here. Now I've written an example of how we might accomplish this without using the new, or the relatively new, the lastIndexOf method. So I've written a function here. I'm using TypeScript, so don't get confused by these. This is a generic type parameter here. These are type annotations. So don't worry about this, just function, find last index, array, search value. So this is going to be the array to look through. This is going to be the value for which we are searching. And here is the core logic here for this method. I'm going to create a variable called foundIndex and set it equal to -1. Because the way these indexOf functions work, indexOf and lastIndexOf, if they do not find the value for which you're looking, they're going to return -1. So I'm going to say that, all right, I found it at -1. So in other words, I'm assuming the worst. I'm assuming that I do not find the item in the array. So I start out at -1. And then I have a for loop here, and I'm going to go through the array, and I'm going to check every single value. So I say if the array at position I, if the value there, is equal to the search value, the thing I'm searching for, I'm going to update foundIndex. It's no longer -1, now it's 1 or 2 or 3, whatever the index happens to be when this condition is true. And it could be true multiple times. It may be true at index 0, it may be true at index 4 and 7 and so on. But over time, I'm just keeping track of the very last one in this variable, foundIndex. And we're going in order, so this works. And at the very end, I can't return early because it may be at the very end of the array. I have to go through every single element. At the very end, I return foundIndex. So if I ever found it along the way, I would have updated foundIndex with the correct number, index 3 or index 4, and so on. But if I never found it, I never entered this if statement, then foundIndex, when I return it, is going to be its original value of -1. And that's what we want. Because I never encountered the value, it's appropriate to return -1, which indicates that I never found that value in the array. So how might I call this? I might call find last index, pass in response times, and pass in 12.3. So here's my response times array. So first, it would find it at index 1, and then it keep going 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it found it again at index 6, 14, and we reach the end, we're going to return 6. And so that's how that would behave. But how do we do this if we want to use the new, the lastIndexOf method? So for that, it's built into the array. So I'll say let result, or let answer, whatever, equal, and this is going to be response times dot lastIndexOf 12.3. And I also want to show you, actually, so let me do let answer equal response times dot index of 12.3. I'm going to console log the answer, and then I'm going to reassign answer. So I've already console logged it. Now I'm going to update answer and console log it again. Okay, so again, I'm using TypeScript. I have a custom build process set up. You don't have to worry about this. You only have to worry about the code. So the code is right here, response times.indexOf. This works on the front end. It works on the back end in Node.js. So I'm going to run my custom script here. And it's going to go through. And the first thing we see is 1. So response times.indexOf 12.3. So this is using the built-in indexOf method. And there it is. The first one it encounters is at position 1, index 1 in the array. Then the second answer we log is the result of response times.lastIndexOf 12.3. So it sees this one, but it keeps going, and it encounters it again at array position 6. So that's why we see that again. So that's how lastIndexOf works. It can be useful, and I hope you take advantage of it.